Blair, we're going to go practice in the morning. So I don't know if that makes it easier for you. So we're going to practice Wednesday morning, done about 9. And then I haven't set the schedule yet for Friday yet. But it was good work. I think some guys were still about half on spring break mentally today. And it was pretty warm, so I think I could saw the effects of spring break amongst some of the guys. But I'm not too concerned with conditioning. We'll get them in shape before August.
Overall, with the conditioning, even with the week or so, are you generally happy? Or?
Yeah, I think if everybody, the first practice over the years after spring break is traditionally, the struggle on. And I wanted it to be hot, so that's why I went in the afternoon. It was a little warm, but I wanted the guys to feel what it feels like to be out of shape practicing football, because we can't have this feeling in August. And I think our guards are pretty conscientious. I think they understand that.
What do you make of Nick Wilson's last 2 seasons?
Well, when he's been healthy, he's played well, but he hasn't been healthy that much. So it's been uneven simply because of the injuries. And I think Nick is determined to have a great year, to get back to having the kind of production he had as a freshman, and having the ability to have J.J. Taylor and Zach Green and Brandon Leon and maybe even some newcomers. We will be deeper at tailback than we've been in a few years.
Is that the position, if everyone's healthy, that maybe you feel best about depth-wise on this team?
Depth-wise and experience-wise, with Zach, JJ, and Nick for sure.
Does Coach McGee seem happier having the tight ends under his control now too?
I think he enjoys it. I think he's, obviously he's a great position coach. I haven't asked him about his happiness. I think his happiness is based on if they play well or not. But he's got a really good pulse on what we want to do offensively, and our tight ends have to do so much. We're using them in a lot more variety of ways because of the skill set that they have. So I feel pretty good about that position too.
What have you seen improvement-wise from them in these first?
Well, I think more than anything, it's been a little more physical, which they need to do blocking-wise, and then understanding our offense conceptually, because they'll play wide out as well. And there's a lot on them. I mean, for big guys to be able to play in space and all that, but the things that you can do offensively when you get guys that can do that is going to really help us go faster and do more things on offense.
How much progress has Nathan Eldridge made since he kind of got thrust into that starting role last year?
Well, yeah, I thought he performed admirably. He's a tough guy. I think he's still, got some things to do to get better, but football is important to him. And this is going to be a big summer now, even though he's just going to be a sophomore. At that position is like quarterback. You got to have guys that need to lead and take control, and I think he'll have more confidence in doing that.
How much mental responsibility does the center have?
For more than the other 4, but not in our offense, not as much as some. In other words, there's things he's got to identify. There's calls he has to make, but the offense, I think, is still pretty simple that you can do that pretty effectively. So you want your center to be your sharpest guy up front, and Nate's pretty sharp, but I don't think it's that hard.
Do you give him more responsibility if you believe
No,
that
it's
he
the
can
same.
handle it, or it's
No, it's the same. I mean, I don't want. If you do, then you're adding too much offense. We're going to keep the same scheme thing so we don't get too complicated.
You mentioned too complicated. Is it possible to overcoach somebody then?
Overcoach what?
Overcoach a player.
I think, in certain respects. I don't know if I'd say it overcoach, but you could overanalyze certain things and make the game. I think sometimes as coaches we make the game more complicated in certain facets than it needs to be. And I'm kind of the guy that tells the staff that, hey, the part of being effective as a coach is to make the complicated simple, and it's a constant battle to do that.
Coach Michalczyk said he felt pretty good about the depth on the offensive line, better than he's felt in recent seasons. Do you feel the same way? Do you feel the potential is there?
Not as much. I probably worry more than he does. I'm glad he said that. I think Gerhard hasn't practiced all spring, and a couple other guys haven't done much. So I think we need to get deeper there. But we keep these 7 or 8 guys healthy, we'll be okay.
Did the break give you guys a chance to catch up on some recruiting?
Not really. I gave the staff a couple days off. But recruiting's every day anyway. I think we're still adding on to this class, both particularly from a walk-on standpoint. So I think we're up to maybe 42 or 43 new guys. So there's going to be a lot of new faces here in June and July.
Does it help the football program when the basketball team does well?
I don't know. I think anytime our name is out there in any sport, look how great our softball team is doing. Obviously, our basketball team is doing fantastic, having a great year. So I love it when our name is out there. I think it helps everybody. I don't know if any particular football recruit is going to come here because of our success in another sport, but I'm sure glad it happens. And I've said this a number of times. People say, "Well, you're at a basketball school." Well, that's a good thing, but we're also known for a lot of our Olympic sports. Our softball program is one of the best, if not the best, in the country. So I think that's all good. It's positive.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.